Hello everybody and welcome back to Jake's RC Stuff, and today receivers. That all fell over the wrong way around, thanks for that. So these are immersion long range receivers. We have got an 8-channel light, another 8-channel light, the Nano receiver, the 8-channel diversity, and the 4-channel. And today, what I'm going to be doing is, because my bench is currently filled because my dad is working on something, I'm actually going to be going through these receivers. So first of all, these were purchased from Hobby King, China, and this was purchased from Head in the Clouds, HITC, in the UK. Now I'll go over HITC a little bit more. Everyone knows who Hobby King is. Quite an expensive order for me, because not only did I buy 4 receivers at like 30 odd quid each, I also bought 2 of the old faithful FY41. You can see an unboxing of these on the channel. Outer box has changed, but everything inside is exactly the same, also I believe. So first of all, let's start with the 8-channel diversity. There are all of the specifications. Got a bit of a black mark on the back of it. Open it up. So the reason I'm doing it in this order is because most of the other receivers, except for that one, the Nano, are basically stripped down versions of the main 8-channel diversity one. So inside the little back envelope, you get 2 stickers and a like us on Facebook card. That's nice. And then in the main compartment itself, you get, because it is the diversity model, 2 aerials. I've just dropped the other one on the floor. Come back here, you bastard. There it is. So yep, 2 aerials, bent round because of the packet, but SMA, I'm not sure which type of SMA they are. RP, does it say on the back of this? Just regular SMA is the connector on these, apparently, but the pin is in that end. So you get 2 of those, and you also get this cable. The idea of this cable is, if you have ImmersionRC EZUHF, you can plug that into it, and then this goes somewhere, and then you have this which plugs into that connector there. And the idea of this is that it provides RSSI values. So you could hack this lead up and use it with other on-screen displays. Now the FY41 doesn't use it, so I've never really used RSSI readouts, but the Engage Brain F4 iNav boards use it, so I might end up using it for the first time on the little Dart project. Now as you can see, of course, you have your 8 rows of pins there. You also have your bind button there, although I usually bind mine in the software. Annoyingly, it's got a USB mini instead of a micro, so if you're a mini quad pilot, and you think, oh, I'll have loads of those cables, you don't, you get those. There's your 2 SMA connectors, and as you could possibly see, it's actually made from 2 circuit boards with then bridges on either side. Let me unplug that cable if I can without breaking it. So I suppose if you took the film off, you could pull them apart, but that's a bit strange. So there's all your 8 pins. I believe both receivers are on this top board. That's where both the SMA connectors are. But yes, and of course you can run S-bus through any of these connectors and things like that in the software, which I might do a video on the software for these. So I can't remember the exact price of these, but they're on Hobby King. Hobby King at the moment seem to have most of these receivers between £30 and £35. So what we'll move on to next is actually a receiver I've never had before. And I bought 2 of them. So this is the 8-channel light. There's the full specs. trying to get into them. Stick and everything will be in there. Wait, do you get too still with this? They're not like Apple and cheap out on you on the low price items. Wow, that's really thin. So I bought these sort of... Crikey, they're a lot thinner for me. So I bought one of these mostly for the FunJet, because the FunJet's not going to have a lot of space. So if we compare the two... They're not the same circuit board. I thought these would be the same circuit board, but apparently they're not. So as you can see, you've got the port currently covered with plastic, the OSD link there you can use. USB is the mini, one SMA connector, and your 8 things out the back, and your balance plug, but it is incredibly thin compared to that. So a lot easier to sort of slide into a thinner fuselage. But yeah, it's more or less got all the exact same features as the full-size one, it's just got one aerial instead. I'm not sure exactly what the... From what I understand, all of these receivers are full range, so you can get the full 30 kilometers or whatever it is. I've never been that far out of anything. But yeah, and I also got another one. With that one in the box, in terms of cables, you get the same OSD link cable, and of course just the one antenna. Stripping down further, something I've had these before. Here's the full specification on the back. This is the 4-channel. So you've seen these. This is what's been used in the S800, the X1. You saw me drying one out. Same stuff will be inside this. Same drying out of it when the Bixler went in the tree. So these are actually designed. Random bit of bubble wrap. That's what I've noticed in a lot of these. They all seem to have a bit of random bubble wrap. All of a sudden. Things stop and move around the packet, which is quite nice. So with the 4-channel, there are a few things that are different. So there is the 4-channel. It comes in this hard case. But as you can see, compared to the 8-channel, it's possibly a similar board. But that's the inputs. I'm sorry, it looks a bit dark for whatever reason. Full-size SMA, still a mini B connector on there. There, pulse light. The other ones have pulse lights as well. So this one doesn't have the OSD connector and cable. Just make sure my lights are all the way up. And now you can break these open. If you look at my Bixler video where I was drying out all the components, you can see what the circuit board looks inside. And the idea is that if you want to make it really thin, you can actually take it out of this box. And supplied in the box, you've got 2 stickers you can put on the circuit board, and then some, actually 2 pieces of shrink wrap. So you can actually put, so you can do what they've done here, where they've got the sort of bit of spongy label within the heat shrink wrap round. You can do the same here once you've taken out of this box. But weirdly, it says Q quality control pass on there. So that's a... I'm not sure if they're encouraging you to do it or not. It's a little weird, because usually if it has those stickers on, it means that you can't do it. And then moving on to this. This came out about a year and a bit ago. It's different to the other ones, which is why I've sort of done it last. Now, I got this from Head in the Clouds RC, not affiliated in any way, but from what I understand, it's sort of like a spare bedroom business, which I'm always a big fan of small enterprise. I mean, for this, I paid $29.99 and £2.75 shipping, and it arrived next day. And I ordered it late on the day I ordered it. Does it have a time? No. But I've actually ordered stuff from there before. The receiver that went in the S800 and the Nano Talon came from there. Because they always have this Head in the Cloud sticker on there with the product reference on. So again, this is another one I've never had before. Designed for quads, and my god, there's a lot of cables in here. Like, Jesus. So I'm actually going to sort of pick through what we've got here. So you've got the regular antenna, just one of them. We then have an antenna adapter, so that end goes into the Nano receiver, and then you drop it on the floor. Bear with me because I have to move the tripod for this. So that goes into the actual Nano receiver itself, and then you can screw this through your frame, that's the idea of it, and then you put the regular aerial on top. Then we have more or less the same thing but a smaller version of it. So there we are, that's just a small version of it. Then I'll show you the receiver next, and then we'll move on to the rest of the cables, because the cables need to sort of be shown off after you've seen the receiver. So let's grab the 4 channel and the 8 channel. So there is the Nano, and there is the 8, and there is the 4. So you can sort of see the difference there. So let's take a tour of this. So you've got your regular bind button, you've got the, very similar to the OSD link port on the 8 channel ones, a micro USB. They've actually gone for the same as the mini quads have on them. There is your really small antenna adapter thing. So does that just pop in? Yeah, that pops in like that. And then you can just pop it back out again. That's not a very secure connection. It's slightly worrying. Like, you need to have that screwed in a specific place. It doesn't flap about. Pulse light. That's about it. So this, as you can see, it has no regular servo connectors. So you can run this in 2 separate modes. You can run it in S-bus only, so that means like one servo comes out and controls everything. Now options for that are, trying to just dig through the cables that we've got here. Let's have a look. So you've got this. So that goes into here, like so, and then you've just got a regular Futaba or servo style. It actually is a Futaba because it's got a little nub on the end. That is for sort of connecting to a flight controller or something like that, like your Eagle Tree Vector or your iNav. Remember, FY41 does not have, I really wish they'd make a 51 with these extra added features on, but never mind. So that just goes out to a flight controller or one of those Free Sky decoder boxes. Next up, on a similar veil, I think we have 2 of them, maybe with slightly different connectors on. So these are for your mini quad flight controllers, so those ends go in here, and that plugs straight into your flight controllers, so I'm not going to use them. And then this one, so the idea of this is you can plug that in here, and if you don't want to use S-bus at all, you can use free channels. So for example, flying wings is what it's meant for, so you can have aileron 1, aileron 2, or elevons technically, and then throttle. Not sure exactly which one is which, but you can set them up like that. So I bought this specifically for the Dart after I saw how small it was, so it's just going to use this connector. And I might even take the Futaba plug off and just solder that straight onto the iNav board. And then, yeah, so that's a lot smaller than, for example, using one of these. As you can see, you can fit 2 of these, and it's thinner. And I suppose if you really wanted to, you could take this case off and heat shrink it to make it even smaller, but it's small enough as it is. I mean, that is it in my hand to sort of show the size. Or if you're an EZUHF user again, 4 channel equivalent to the 8 light, and equivalent to the 8 diversity. But yes, so there are many different applications for these. This one I think is probably the least popular because it's such a lot of cocking about. And I suppose with most like long range models you'd go for the 8 diversity. That's why, basically that is for long range models. That is for models where you need more than 8 channels and you can't use S-bus for some reason. I've always, because these are always like £10 difference until recently, and I was like, well, if I'm spending 40 quid, like this might be 48 and this was 58, I'd rather spend the extra 10 and get the dual diversity. And then I was using these and all the small stuff that only need 4 channels, like Bixler's, Flying Wings, Nano Talon has one of these in. If I was running the Dart on the plug and play setup, then this is what it would have in it. I'd put one of these in a Micro Sky Hunter, things like that. And then this is just for the very small stuff, or stuff that you're having a flight controller in but not going massive distances with. That's what we've got these for. So I have all of these linked in the description. If High in the Clouds RC are selling the other 4 channels and 8 channels and things that are in this corner, I'll link those as well. I would prefer, because they're a small UK company, that if you live in the UK, you order them from High in the Clouds RC. If not, either because they don't stock them, because they went out of stock. I bought the last 2 4 channels for a while, I believe. I'm not sure if they've got many back in. They had 10 of the Nano ones available when I ordered them like 3 days ago. But as I say, I would recommend that if you're in the UK and can, help out the small company of Head in the Clouds RC again. Not affiliated in any way, I just like their business practice and the cheap prices, cheap postage and fast. It came tracked next day, so absolutely excellent. So yes, I would say try and buy from Head in the Clouds RC if possible. If not, Hobby King. I think they were actually about the same price, so the reason I ordered so much stuff all at once, like 4 £30 receivers and 2 £80 flight controllers, is because I wanted to use the December free shipping offer, because last time I did that, it arrived in 2 days, 2 or 3 days, the charger from my dad, and it didn't get done for any tax, or not bothered about the tax. I'm more bothered about the £12 or whatever Parcel Force would have charged for handling it. But this time, at least I didn't get hit by duty and the Parcel Force charge, but it did take like 2 weeks, although it was over Christmas, so meh. But anyway, that's it for this video. That's sort of my overview. If you have any questions about these, remember, of course, leave them in the comments, and I do try my best to get them answered as soon as I can. Subscribe if you're new, it helps me out, and give it a like as well. That's another, yeah. If this was helpful in any way. I was debating about whether to do a separate video on the Nano, because it is such a strange idea, but there we are. There's an overview of all of these EZUHF's current things. And to be honest with you, I mean, to get set up with these EZUHF, say you were getting started and you've got a Bixler, you need one of these, which is like £30. You need a module that's like £50, whether you get the big external one or the JR module. And then you're going. You know, the only other thing you'd need then is a slightly better antenna, because the one that comes with the transmitters are a bit naff. So maybe an extra tenner for that, but for under £100 you can have long range. Do I recommend you go long range? No, but it's always nice knowing you've got it. But yes, thank you for watching. See you all in the next one. Bye bye.